Okay, in this tutorial I'm just going to show you how we can create an AR application for Android using Unity and also an application called Vuforia. Now, for the AR application we're going to use this as a target, and our endpoint is going to be what you see in this video here. So let's play that. That's the drawing there, and you can see it just pops on our three-dimensional model, and you can have a look at that. Spinning the paper, moving your camera, or indeed your phone in and out against that. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is get ourselves set up on Vuforia. So I'll just kill that off, and let's drag this in here. So this is Vuforia, vuforia.com, and what you're going to need is a developer account on that. So at vuforia.com, go to the dev portal and register. Now once you are registered and authenticated, you can go into the developer portal here, and in here you'll see that we have some extra components that we're going to need for Unity. So we have in the downloads area there, we have this download for Unity, so it's a package, and we're going to be importing that into Unity in a little bit. But before we get started, we need to create a license and also a target. So in the developer tab here, I'm going to go to add license key, and it's going to ask me what type of license. So I'm going to go for development, that's free, and I'm going to call this the application is going to be YouTube with a B, Vuforia. Okay, and I click next on that, and we'll have to accept some terms and conditions again, confirm. And that's it, the license has been created. And if you click into that, you'll see that we have a license key, which we're going to be using in a little bit. So that's there. The other thing we need to do is we need to create a target. So into the target manager, we're going to, they refer to them as a database. So we'll add a database, and we'll call this YouTube with a B again. And it's going to be device database, click create, and there it is, YouTube Vuforia. And what we're going to do is upload this image and create an AR target with that. So click into this, and currently there's no targets listed, as you can see, so we click on add target, and the target we're going to use is a single image, and we need to choose a file. So I'm going to browse to here, and on my desktop, back to that now, that's the image there, AR demo. So I'll just click open on that, and that will upload there. The next piece of information we need to supply is the width of that. So enter the width of your target in scene units. Now this is, Unity uses meters. Oh, there we go. Unity uses meters. So what I'm going to do is enter 20 in there. So the image will be 20 meters in width. We're going to scale this out later. So click add there, and it's currently uploading the target. So that's a JPEG going up. And now it's going to go and process that. So that's what that will be. I'll go back and just go back into my target manager for a moment. This is a previous version I've done. So we can go in here and have a look at that target as well. So you can see there that once it's finished, it has a rating, its status is active, and all that good stuff. And if we go into the target itself, it'll tell us that it's, well, it's 4 out of 5 stars augmentable, and we can enable the features on this. So we can just, well, not enable, we'll just show them. And these are the points that it's tracking. So you can see there are lots of information that it can use. Could be better, but you know, it's good enough for us. Alright, so back to my target manager, see how it's doing on this one. Oh, that's very quick, and it's been done. So just double check that now. There it is. It's today's date, show features, exactly the same really. So back to this target, and what we're going to need to do is download this particular database. So YouTube Vuforia, download database, and it's going to ask us what we want it for. So we want this for the Unity editor, and we'll click download on that. And here it comes. That's great. So I'm just going to go into my asset pack over here. Just for my own sanity, I'm just keeping all these in this location. So there's my asset package. I'm going to rename that because I've downloaded something similar already. Okay, so that's it there. That's pretty much all we need to do. Just a quick recap. Under downloads, you're going to need your this asset Unity package here. You're going to need, under develop, you're going to need to create a license key, and you're going to create a target. Okay, so once we have all that, we can get going in Unity. Now, a point to remember here is that this currently does not work in Unity 5.5. I'm using 5.4.3. Now, if you can run parallel versions of Unity, and the description and the links will be in the the description below. But this is where you can get other versions of Unity. So currently we're at 5.5 point something. But I am using one of these guys here, so you can download those and install them. It's not a problem. Just bear that in mind. 5.4. So that said, I'm going to create a new project. It's going to be let's see, we'll call this YouTube Vuforia. It will be 3D, and I'm not going to add any other assets at this point. So create the project, and Unity will go off and do its thing. Here it comes. Okay, so there's a new version, skip new version. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to import the asset package from Vuforia. So I'm going to my downloads here, Vuforia Unity 6.2.6, and click open on that, and in it will come. Now, we're going to be building this for Android, so a lot of this we don't actually need. Just double check, make sure it's finding everything. Yeah, that looks good. So, the things that we don't need, let's see if I can find them. Shaders, textures, all good. Okay, I don't need x86, because I'm running a 64-bit processor. Let's see, anything else in there. I don't need iOS. And I'll just leave it at that. Okay, just click import. Okay, so that's that in. The next thing we need to do is import our target database. So again, I'm going to go to Assets, Import Package, Custom Package. That's the one that I had. So look, I'll just download that. Actually, I'll just go onto the desktop and get the right one. Let's see. There we go. So that's YouTube Vuforia package there. Click open on that. And you'll see here it's got our AR demo floor plan. So that's in there. And I'll click import on that. Alright, that's everything we need. Now it's into setup. So under the resources here, you'll see we have Vuforia configuration. So I'll zoom out a bit on that. So if we check the inspector on Vuforia, actually the thing I do here is just close. Now, Vuforia configuration, here it's looking for the app license key. And if we go back into here, into my license manager, YouTube Vuforia, this is the license key here. So I'm going to copy that and simply paste it in here. Now, the next thing we need to do is under Datasets here, we need to load our database. So we click on that, and we're also going to activate it. So that's that done. I'll Quite simple so far. Now I'm getting an error here saying no camera connected, and that's because I don't have a camera on this computer, and I'm going to be deploying this directly to Android anyway. Alright, so we're making a bit of progress. So under, let's see, plugins. Okay, under Vuforia and prefabs, we're going to need the AR camera. So I'm just going to drag that into the scene here. So that's our AR camera in place. And the next thing I need to do is pop in an image target. So I'll pop that in as well. So that's my image target and my AR camera. Now, under the AR camera itself, we need to select the database. So first of all, I'm going to select YouTube Vuforia. And there it is. And because there's only one target here, it's popped in my demo floor plan. So that's it. We can now see we have our target in place. That's fine. It's all at 0, 0, all good. The next thing to do is to bring in our asset itself, the actual building. So I'm going to, again, just selecting the root of the assets there. Assets, import new asset, and this is an FBX of a Revit model which I created previously. I washed it through 3ds and did a bit of work on the materials, so that's there, and we click import on this. Alright, so it'll pull in its materials and whatnot. Okay, so that's now in, and what I need to do is pop it into here. Now, as you can see, this thing is huge in comparison to my image target. So what I'm going to do is scale this back. So first I'm going to scale it to 0.1 all around and see what I get. Okay, so it's still considerably larger than my target, so I might just go back in here. Let's try 0.5 and see where that gets us. Okay, still a bit large. I'm gonna turn off perspective. Might just look at the top of this thing. All right, so it's still a bit too big. Let's see what 0.25 does. It's getting closer to the mark anyway. Whoops. Hang on, no, put a 0 in front of them. Okay, so let's have a look. Nope, still looking a bit too big. Maybe just go a bit smaller. Alright, look, I'm going to leave it there at that. What I am going to do is rotate it around. Now the two cubes you see at the back there is something I'll show you in another tutorial, but basically it's just something I use to track the sizes of things. So, okay, then that's looking pretty good there actually. Alright, it's a little bit bigger than what's on the drawing, but that's okay. Okay, so that's that. Now what I need to do here is, once this is scaled up, it needs to be a child of the image target. So I'll just pick it up and plonk it on top of the image target there, and that's it. It seems to be happy at that. Alright, so that's it. That's it. That's us done. So what we need to do now is to start setting up our build settings and use it. So first, before I do that, I'm just going to try a quick play on this. See what it does. Yeah, that's fine. It looks a bit mad because the camera is pointed at something. Let's turn off. We don't need this directional camera, or this main camera. So let's delete that. What's that camera seeing? Yeah, so that is seeing there. That's all fine. Okay, so Now we need to start looking at deploying this out. Now, in order to do this, you're going to need the Android SDK. We'll look at installation of that at another point. But what I'm going to do is, first of all, go to my build settings. Now, currently we're building for a PC, which is not what we want. We want Android. And it currently says no modules loaded. So maybe I need to do that. Alright, so I'm just going to run this. Agree. Now, when you do this with a package, I have several versions of Unity running in here, so I need to match these numbers. It's currently going to the last version of Unity I installed, which is not correct, so I'm going to go to 3 there. And click install. Now, what this is doing is adding the Unity support, but there is also the need for the Android SDK, so that has finished. Let's get my mouse back here somewhere. Finish. Incidentally, the completed version of this application is available on Google Play. You'll see it there. And the target is available here. Okay, so with that done, I think we're going to have to... It's updating. Now, after that, it's not going to pick up the build. So I'll just do a quick build settings here. Under Android, it's not loading. So what I need to do is restart Unity at this point with the Android support enabled. So what I'm going to do is just save the project. I'm also going to save this scene as YouTube Vuforia, and click save, and I'll do a quick restart on Unity. Alright, so I'll just pause while I do that, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I've just restarted. I'm just going to click on YouTube Vuforia. It's still here. Note that here it's telling us we're in 5.4.3, so I'll click on that, or at least saying that the application is built for that. So back to where we were, and now under build settings I should have Android available. So we can see texture compression, don't override. I'm going to add the open scene here as well, actually, so this scene will be built. Now there's only one scene in this, so it's going to build it anyway, but good practice. So Google Android project, maybe not, and development build, basically don't bother turning those on. Switch platform, and what that'll do is set this up as the default. So it's doing its work. And once this is done, we're going to have to adjust the player settings. There's a few little things to be done in there, but nothing major. And then we can deploy it to our Android device. Okay, so that's that done. Now, under player settings, it brings up our inspector. And you'll see in here that we have our Android settings. So resolution and presentation, I'm going to leave all of those alone. They're fine. We're going to go to the icon. And you can put in icons there if you like. So this, I'm going to use the default Unity one, so it'll be fine. Splash image if you want. And other settings. Now this is one you need to pay attention to. Depending on how this works, you can muck around with the rendering settings. I don't propose to do it in this tutorial. But we do need to get this bundle identifier sorted out. So you have to give this a proper name for it to be deployed into Android. So VC YouTube Vuforia. Okay, version 1, bundle code version 1, all that kind of stuff. Now, minimum API level, we need a decent machine on this, so I generally go for about 4.2. You can go higher than that. If you're using AR, virtual reality, you're going to go much higher than that. But yeah, I'm going to build for Jelly Bean. Now, under the rest of it, let's have a quick look. Device filter. Now, this is going to go against ARM7. That's the processor type. We need that. There's no point in building this out for anything else. Let's see. Anything else? All right, and then we're going to run a test build. So what that's going to do now is ask us to give us a name for our APK file. This is what your Android application package. So we're going to call this YouTube Vuforia. Leave it at that, and then click save, and you can see this going into here. So click save, and it's just going to run through and see can it work this. If you get an error at this point, it's probably because you don't have the Android SDK. So it's currently detecting to see if it has those. Now I do know that I have got this installed, so it should find in a moment. There we go. It's a good idea to just run a straight build before attempting to deploy it anyway. Now I'm going to do a later video on getting yourself established and talking to your Android device. I currently have my mobile phone attached to this thing, so we'll see what happens next. So building the asset package. Okay, it's all looking good. And that's it. It says done. All right, so I'm happy enough at that. Let's have another quick look in here. See, am I happy with this? I am. So now what I'm going to do is deploy it. Now, before I can deploy it, I need to have my device connected. So after you install the emulator, the Android SDK, you will find your platform tools under user, whatever your username is, app data, local, Android SDK, and platform tools. Now, app data is a hidden directory, but once you're in the command prompt, you can still see it. And the thing you're interested in is ADB. So if you run ADB, it gives you a list of all the junk that's in there. But to see if you're connected, you run ADB devices. And currently, it is showing that my device is connected. It's worth remembering that this service has to be started, and you will have to start it by typing in ADB devices. It'll start and then connect to your device. Again, another tutorial for that one. So just confirming my device is connected, and now I am going to deploy. So build settings again, YouTube Vuforia. I'm happy enough with that, all good. Now I'm going to hit build and run. So it's going to do the same as before. I'm going to overwrite this. And this time it's obviously going a lot quicker, and this time it was just getting my detached devices there. And what it'll do is it'll copy it over. Okay, so now it's copying to device. You can see that happening. My rather old Galaxy S4. And what it does, once it's copied it over, it automatically starts it. So the application will start, and then you get to test it. So, let's see. Okay, so you can see it there, attempting to start. So let's see what we got. Okay, so I can report that it is running on my machine, and I will create a video of that and append it to the end. Okay, thanks for watching.